In this video, I would like to cover the new Sirius Act push-button pilot light system. This new series, the 3SU series, 22 millimeter devices are a replacement for the 3SB series. A discontinuation of that product has been announced. There has been a bulletin that went out as of April 1st, 2017. The 3SB series is been put into a mature product status, and pretty much all of the 3SB series will be going away. It does mention in here by October 1st that a lot of the offerings will not be available as US standard product. So that is why I'm bringing this video to you, to highlight the new series, to make sure that we're all aware that this is where Siemens has gone with their 22 millimeter. And I do know for the most part that all items are stocked in stock, and we have used them. A few of the branches are now stocking them. So with that, we'll start with the full page color brochure that Siemens puts out, which is a very nice flyer. Siemens does very well with their brochures and handouts. So this one covers the new product very well. It highlights a few of the types: the matte finish, the chrome, the plastic. Shows you a few basic examples, goes over the features. It does highlight that a lot of the product is IP69K protected, which is about the highest rating, NEMA 4X type of a rating that you can get in this product. It goes through the types and styles and colors of actuators and push buttons that you can get, and it shows the whole product line here: key switches, selector switches, potentiometers. There's protective guards, enclosures that go with these, sound devices, indicator lights, the whole gamut of products. And then it goes through a quick overview of how to select a part number. So metal, plastic, selector switches, maintain momentary key switches. Kind of goes through that very quickly in this brochure. So that is something that you have access to. The next thing I would like to show is a conversion tool that is available. There is an Excel spreadsheet, and if anybody wants a link to this, please let me know. If you can find your old 3SB part number in here, it is explaining what the new replacement parts would be in the 3SU series. So that is a tool that is available to us. There is a full catalog. So if you prefer a 474 page catalog, there is a Sirius Act Industrial Controls System Manual that goes through everything about the 22 millimeter series. Like I said, 474 pages of fun facts and information. It's going to have all of your ratings and characteristics and how to use them in circuits, and pretty much anything and everything you wanted to know about 22 millimeter devices will be in this manual. And also part numbers can be found in here if that is a place you'd like to go for information. Again, let me know if you want a link to that. And another resource that we have is it would be actually our 2014 Industrial Controls Catalog, but that is updated constantly. And if you go by the Siemens Industrial Control website, you can see that the latest version of the catalog updated 11/2016. And if we go to chapter 10, where the pilot devices are, there is a supplement section included for Sirius Act. And if you download that section, you will get this section, this complete 228 page document that is similar to that full manual, and it's going to give you a breakdown of what is all available in the 22 millimeter and how to build part numbers and so on and so forth. So if you do not prefer those type of tools, Siemens also offers a online configurator, and anybody that would have an access or a login to the industrial mall, and you should be able to get to it without access to the configurator, is just on the front page of the industrial mall. So this is my page, and here underneath the product catalog is a configurator overview. If I choose, click on the configurator overview and then go to low voltage controls and distribution, and then if we scroll down we see Sirius Act push button and pilot light indicators, and we are live, so have patience with the internet. And once this configuration tool loads, you'll see that we're going to have choices. So there's three choices on configurator tools inside this tool. So you can choose to use the first tool, build an enclosure, which would include the enclosure. You could do labeling, push buttons, pilot light devices, everything all in one system, or you can just get single component parts. I'm going to start with the first tab and do actuators and indicators. And then it says front panel is not included in delivery. That's just a warning. I'm not exactly sure what that means. So if we go to the tool, it's going to start asking us questions. And the first thing is communication. We're going to skip that. We're not going to have any communication as of this device that we're building. And then the next question it's going to ask is, do we want to have black plastic, plastic with matte stainless front ring, metal shiny with matte. Let's just go with metal shiny. And then what is your control voltage? If you are going to have indicator lights in it, then you would want to choose your control voltage. And let's just say we're doing 24 to 240. That's going to cover pretty much everything. And we're going to do screw terminal, which is very common. And then I hit the continue tab down in the lower right hand corner there. So what this does is it looks like it brings up the front of a control panel with several holes in the front to fill up with pilot devices, and then that's exactly what it's asking us. So this is our first device, and so we've got our choice: no communication. We're not doing a ceiling plug. That's if you were filling the extra holes. If you want a ceiling plug, then it's going to help you get a part number for that, which means you have a blank hole that you want to put a plug into. We've already chosen metal shiny, and now let's pick a selector switch as the first example. And then it's going to ask us, do we want it to be illuminated or not illuminated? Let's just go with illuminated so that we get all the components. So then it drops down and asks us the next question: what is the color? The color would be green, and you'll see towards the end I'll highlight where all of the actuators have the capability of being illuminated. Whether you choose the pilot light or not, they have that capability. You can add it later. The shape of the handle, let's just do a short selector, and we want these to be latching, so when you select the switch, it stays the position that you turn it. So we'll do latching, and let's do a 3-position switch so we get the maximum choices. And then the next question it asks is, what do you want on the first module? So we're going to do a normally open contact on that side. And then let's just say we want a normally closed contact on the second module. And then you can see it filled in the LED automatically because we chose pilot light. If you didn't choose LED, you could have possibly put another contact in that position. And so now, so far, we have a few components stacking up here, and if we hit continue, we have a command point, and we have a list of part numbers. So we have our selector switch, and you can see that the actuator is green, And we have the holder, which the holder is what holds it in behind the cabinet door and will hold your contacts and LED modules. And so then we have our normally open contact listed, our LED module that's rated for 24 to 240 AC/DC, and then we also have our normally closed contact listed. So all of those part numbers are figured for us, and this is all list pricing right now. If I would send this configuration to the shopping cart, it will take me out of the configurator and will possibly lose what we have built so far. There are ways to save your settings, so if you're building a multiple push buttons, pilot lights, selector switches, potentiometers, I can save this system so that I can access it again, and I would recommend doing that if you have a lot of part numbers you're working with, because once you send it to the shopping cart in the industrial mall, it's going to take you there and we're going to start all over. So now I'm going to try to back up to the welcome page, back to where we started, and I wanted to show you quickly how this works with multiple buttons. So again, we'll do metal shiny, we'll do 24 to 240, we'll do a selector switch, we will do illuminated, and color of the actuator green again, and short handle, and then we picked our contacts, and one normally closed. So now we would be technically at the end of the system, and we could continue on and get all of our part numbers, but I want to build another part number instead of stopping there. So I click on the next hole in this enclosure. So now I'm at command point B. I've left my first choice in the selector, and I can build another pilot light. So this one I also want to do a metal shiny, but this one I just want to do a push button. And again, is it illuminated or not illuminated? Let's just choose illuminated. And then color of the actuator, we'll do a red. And we'll do a raised button. We'll do a momentary as soon as it catches up. And we will do one normally open. And if that's all I want, then I can choose no module for the second. And again, my continue button has illuminated down here. I could continue, or I could go up and I could continue on to build another part number. So maybe you needed a blank like we talked about before, so I could do a ceiling plug. So it's going to eliminate all of my choices and give me the part number for a ceiling plug. So you get a ceiling plug and a holder. So now I have 3 components. I could hit continue, and this is where we were before. I have 3 command points. I can open them all up and get my part numbers right here and enter them into my order and go from there. I can again export them to the mall for pricing and availability. I can also, under the additional actions up here in the upper right hand corner, I can also export these. I can save the system, and they can be exported to an Excel spreadsheet. So this can be exported so that you could copy and paste these part numbers to an Excel spreadsheet, if that is something you would want to do. So there are many ways to use this configuration tool. And I'm going to go back to the welcome page one more time. And I'm going to choose enclosure this time. And with the enclosure, it's going to ask us what do we want to do? Well, let's just do metal shiny and 24 to 240. So our next question is, I want to do a complete enclosure or a customized enclosure. So let's just leave it at customized, and we'll do a plastic enclosure. I want to do three command points in my control box. So there you can see now we have a control box. I want to do screw terminal, and this choice down here below, floor mounting or front mounting. So front mounting is the style that we were doing on all the previous buttons and selectors. If you do floor mounting, the contacts actually reside in the bottom of the enclosure. So when you pull the lid off, your push buttons and devices come off, so you could change them or replace them, and all your wiring and contacts stay in the base of the enclosure. And that is for this particular Siemens enclosure that has that capability. They lock and snap into the bottom. So make sure, if you want them to stay with the holder, which is the standard buttons that most of the branches will probably stock, you choose front mounting on the holder, or you will get a different style of contact. So with that, our next choices are, again, we're going to be going through just like we did with that other configurator, and we are going to put push buttons, pilot lights, selector switches, and whatnot into this enclosure, and get a complete part number or a list of part numbers to make up this box. So if you will be patient, I will make up a complete part number. And make all the selections. I'll just choose a couple of buttons. I've got a red button for starters, and you can see the wrenches that are indicating in the whole open holes. Basically, what those wrenches mean is I haven't configured a part yet, and something is missing. So to click on the wrench, it's going to take me to the next device. And so I had a red button for the last one. We'll do a green button. And green, and also a momentary, and we will do the flat, and one normally open, no module, and no module. So now that with that selection, we have completed 2 buttons, and we will throw something in the last opening. Push button. Illuminated. Let's just do a blue, because blue is a cool color. And it does take a little bit of time to go through this configuration tool, but the nice thing is you can see what you're building and walk through the whole thing fairly quickly and get the current part numbers that are available. So one thing I haven't been pointing out is you can do text, and you can actually get text on the buttons, or you can do the label that goes on the side, so I can fill in these spots with labels. But we can also have marketing do that for us internally. So I have had marketing make me these labels in a 21 by 21 millimeter size that fit right in there, and they work really well, and they're probably cheaper and quicker to get than going with the Siemens option, because all the push buttons, pilot lights, and actuators are in stock, but they would have to make up the do the inscription, so it's probably quicker to have our marketing do those, and they do it very well. So with that, I now have a complete push button box, and I can hit continue. And again, I am going to be asked one more question. Do I want a cable gland in there? And if I choose that, it's going to basically fill the hole with if this has got like a rubber cord or a grommet, You basically have to make a selection, but you don't have to order that part if you don't want to. So you can see now we've got the enclosure and our 3 command points, and the accessory being that metric cable gland that goes in there for a cord grip or something like that, which you do not have to order if you don't want to. So if you ordered this as a complete enclosure from Siemens and you wanted it to have it built, they will give us a part number and it will be built as is, and you can put it right to the industrial mall and order it. Or you can break out all these components like we did before, and now you have all of your part numbers that you would need to build this entire system. Or you can export this to the industrial mall and check availability and pricing on everything as we did before. So as you can see, it's breaking out everything that we just chose. So it's a really nice tool if you don't want to take the time to go through the catalog and pick out all of these. This tool, I believe, works really well. It's one of the nicer configurators that Siemens has. And these enclosures come in 1, 2, 3, and I think 4 and 6 button. They skip a 5 button, so there's enclosures up to 6 button enclosures for the 22 millimeter. And some of those are being stocked at echolocations currently. So if you have any questions over the configuration tool, please let me know. Hopefully this has been a helpful video. And like I said, let me know if you have any more questions. Thank you.